One more coach to address the media as we head back to Big Ten Basketball Media Day and listen in. Illinois head coach John Groce now on the podium.
The NIT. Coach, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
We'll start with an opening statement and then go to questions.
Sure. Obviously it's an exciting time for all of us coming up here. The season's starting. This kind of represents the tip-off to all that. Our guys have worked very hard. We had a great off-season. I thought the European trip really helped us tremendously. The additional practices probably even more so than the 4 games that we played. We learned a lot about our team. We have an interesting dynamic with 3 freshmen and then 2 fifth-year transfer newcomers in Thorne and Lewis. Lewis did not start school until fall semester, so he missed the European practices as well as the trip. So trying to get him acclimated and figuring out what those guys are going to bring and what they do best and trying to play to their strengths. And certainly the additional practices and the trip really helped us with that. I'm really proud of our guys and how they attacked the offseason. In addition to that, guys have gotten stronger. Guys have gotten better. They're more skilled. They shoot the ball better. Their bodies have changed. They really made a tremendous commitment to their games, as well as to the classroom. I'm proud of what they do in the classroom. We had a 3.23 in the spring, which was the highest on record in the history of Illinois basketball. Came back with a 3.5 this summer. Those are team GPAs. And what they do in the community. When you put all those things together, I'm very excited about, who we have, the character in our locker room, where we're going, how we're doing it. So that part's exciting. Obviously the biggest thing for us right now is getting healthy. I tried to make sure when I got up out of bed this morning that I didn't trip over anything, or, tried to remain healthy between the walk from the hotel room down the elevator here to the press conference. You're in an interesting situation when a doctor sometimes, with some of these injuries we've had, I was telling somebody outside, if he says, hey, the guy is going to be out 4 weeks, and you go, yes, you've been through a lot over the 2 years. People ask, is it unprecedented? I'm sure there's other injuries. It's part of sports. But to miss 80 games last year and then, to go through what we've went through to this point this year early, it is a little bit unprecedented. But it's happening for a reason. We'll deal with it. We have a next man up philosophy. Our guys know that. We're not going to make excuses. We don't take shortcuts. We're not going to complain. We're going to figure it out. That's what we do. And in the meantime, we'll try to get those guys as healthy as possible and get them back as quickly as possible. Questions?
Thanks, Coach. Please remember to raise your hand high. We're going to go back row toward the center aisle and then front.
John, what exactly happened to Kendrick Nunn? And
sure, what are the questions?
How severe is the injury, and when did it happen?
I don't know a whole lot at this point, other than the fact that the right thing to do was to not bring him today because he did get injured in practice 2 days ago with his left hand, the thumb, and it swelled up a little bit. We had a chance to get him in to see our hand specialist this morning, where they'll do further evaluation. I'll know more, I'm hoping, sometime today. But in his best interest, I apologize. I know he was looking forward to coming up to his home city here. But we thought it was in his best interest to get that evaluated, and then we'll go from there.
Let's go second row, right-hand side on the aisle.
Just 2 things, I guess. Is it it's not broken then, or can you?
I'm not a doctor, obviously. I don't have an X-ray at this point, an MRI. He hasn't met with the hand specialist. We don't have anything at this point. Okay. Those appointments are this morning, and then once those appointments take place, Shannon will know a lot more.
And do you have updates on how Black's doing after the surgery?
Yeah, LaRon's doing well. LaRon's a tough kid. When the surgery took place, it became very evident that the meniscus had been torn a long time ago. Doc asked me, he said, what's this kid's pain threshold like? I said, very high. LaRon's a very, very tough kid. And played on it for a long period of time. So we feel blessed that we were able to, the knee swelled a little bit on the one weekend, and we decided to get it X-rayed, and led to an MRI and found out that we had a torn meniscus, and we repaired it. Surgery went great. He's already off crutches. He's already doing some type of cardiovascular exercise and doing some rehabilitation exercises with the knee as well. That's very encouraging, and we hope to get him back soon.
And sorry, just one more.
Sure.
You kind of joked about just being able to get out of bed and stay healthy. And how is the team just dealing with this? I mean, with none now, just from a morale standpoint. I mean, and not letting it feel like, maybe there's this dark cloud or before the season starts.
They don't have much of a choice. It just is what it is. We talk about the next man up philosophy a lot. We did that a lot last year. So we've got guys in our locker room that went through a lot last year. I think the hardest part is we're going to get these guys back. The hardest part, what I learned last year, is when guys are coming in and out and your team's changing throughout the course of a season. What I worry about as a coach more than anything, Shannon, is the growth of our team, our ability to continue to improve and get better. You just don't snap your fingers. A guy like Coleman Lands, who will be back here soon as well, he didn't participate in summer training camp. He didn't participate in fall training camp. Now, are we glad to get him back? Absolutely. He's a very good player, no question. He's an even better person. But it's going to take a little bit of time. So those are the things I think that are more on my mind right now. How do I accelerate our team's growth and development and give them some type of continuity and stability with what we're learning to make sure that we're getting better through the challenge of the multiple injuries?
Time for two more questions. Fourth row on the aisle, right-hand side.
Coach, obviously you lost Nana Egwu this past offseason, and you get Mike Thorne Jr. transferred from Charlotte. What are the differences in their two games, and what do you expect from Thorne this year and how he's going to fit into your offense as compared to Egwu last season?
Well, they're completely different players, almost 180s. Thorne is very gifted offensively and is a very good rebounder. Big, 6'11", 280 pounds. He's worked very, very hard to get himself in shape. Our strength coach, Adam Fletcher's done a tremendous job with him. And he's playing really well right now. Defensively, he's got some work to do in terms of learning our system, placing an importance level on that end of the floor as much as he does the other end and his rebounding. And we're going to get there, where Egwu was probably the opposite of that. Obviously Egwu was as good a defender at his position as anybody I've ever coached. As a head coach or assistant coach. He was special in that regard. So Nana's not out there anymore defensively, and we're going to have to get it done by committee on that end of the floor.
One final question for Coach.
Yes,
all the way in the back center.
Coach, you recently said you like where the program's at heading into this season. Why do you think you've turned the corner and good things are ahead?
Well, I'm anticipating, obviously, getting some of these guys back. I love the character of our locker room right now. I love the versatility of our team. That's a big thing. We've got guys that can play multiple positions. We can play small. We can play big. As I mentioned earlier, I like what they're doing in the community. I like what we're doing in the classroom. They represent what we want to be about. I think we're just in a really good place right now. We've continued to add talented people and players to our team through recruiting. So I'm excited about that. Obviously, the biggest thing right now is just getting healthy.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Good luck this season.
Thank you.